Welcome to the Rotary Club of North Texas for our meeting tonight on I guess it's it's March 12th. Boy, it's going fast. March 12th. We have a great speaker tonight, Jay Roman. He's the brand man, Dr. Brandman. That's his business name, and his name is Jay Roman. We have a guest, Douglas Bryan, who's also a Rotarian and friends with Linda, and will be our speaker on April 16th. And I see Linda and David and Rick are here, and of course we're recording for everybody who couldn't make the meeting that's watching it afterwards. First, let's start with Rick doing an invocation. I think I got it.
Yeah. All right, let's bow our heads to the Lord here for a minute, if you wish. Lord, we come to you today with much thanks for the blessings and gifts we have received. May we be inspired to use those in Rotary and do good things around our community and the world. All these blessings we give thanks for and ask that these be lifted up to you. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. And David, you want to do the pledge? Your mic is muted. I don't know if you know that. You have to unmute. There you go.
And
I don't hear him. David, you're still muted. I'm not sure.
no, he's not muted. We just don't hear him.
We just don't hear him. Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it because we can't hear you, David. Otherwise, I'd let you do it. I pledge
Make
allegiance
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so here we go. We'll start our meeting. First, is there any new business or anything we need to announce? That I know Linda knows all the announcements. So.
Okay, I've got a few things to mark in your calendar. Challenge Air is at McKinney on March the 23rd. Rick, are you going to be able to go?
I'm not sure, Linda. I don't have transportation to it, so.
Okay, we might be able to pick you up. I'll have to confirm that with David.
Yeah.
But if we can pick you up, can you go?
Yeah.
Okay, I've also reached out to Angelo. I haven't heard from him in a while, but he has paid his dues and everything, so I've asked him if he could go. So I haven't heard. That was just yesterday. Also, our April the 6th is our four-way speech contest. David and I will be judges at that. District Assembly, put that on your calendars for April the 27th. Everybody is welcome to go. There's a spot for everybody, so plan to go. Also on the district conference and awards dinner will be on May the 11th. So instead of 2 or 3 days for the conference, it's going to be combined from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it's at the Haggard Party Barn in Plano. And district assembly is 27. I think that's all then that's coming up. So hope to see everybody at the assembly anyway. And if you go ahead and get registered for a Challenge Air if you think you can go, Rick.
Okay.
If I wasn't out of town,
Okay.
I would go.
And you'll still be in Bangkok, so we won't
leaving on the
expect you to.
22nd, so I get there on the 23rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so that's all I have for this time.
Okay. Does anyone else have any business or anything they need to bring up to the group's attention? Anyone? I don't have anything to add. So we'll make this sweet. We'll introduce Jay. Jay is our speaker. He's an expert on branding. He and I have gotten to know each other over the past few months, and I loved his topic. I thought it was different and something of interest to everyone. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to you, Jay. I'm going to mute my microphone. I'm still here, but that way you won't hear any noise from my mic.
Excellent.
Okay? And you can take over the screen if you want to do PowerPoint on the bottom. If you hover with your mouse, you see a thing that says share.
Yeah.
If you choose to use a PowerPoint, you don't have to. You can do that. You can do
Good.
that.
I won't.
Okay?
Okay.
Excellent. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Brandman, and I'm an expert in branding. You know, one of the things I ask my clients often when I first meet them is I ask them, what is the thing that makes you different than your competition? Most of you are business people. You may be retired. Rotary, as I understand, is heavily involved in trying to brand itself. So the question is, whoever your competition is, whoever you're competing for, customers or members or whatever it may be, the question you have to ask yourself is, what makes you different than them? What makes you different than the individual or the organization that you're competing against? And what makes you stand up, stand out, and be remembered? And that's what branding is all about. My moniker is stand up, stand out, and be remembered. And the question that I'm going to pose to you today is, how do you stand up, stand out, and be remembered? Whether you're a business person, a business woman, or you're trying to promote the organization, whatever it may be, how do you stand up, stand out, and be remembered? And so I'm going to give you 3 tips on how you're going to be able to do that. The first thing that you need to have, and I am a big proponent in this, is you need to have legendary customer service. Now, let me share a story with you. I have a friend. His name is Ron Kaufman. He's from New York City. Now, please don't hold that against him. But you've all probably heard of the organization called LL Bean. And Ron, 20 years ago, remember, he's from New York City, Ron bought himself a pair of silk underwear. I mean, they were long-legged and they were silk. And, you know, I'm not sure what that says about him, but he loved them and he wore them, and he wore them till they were almost falling to pieces. I mean, he had big old holes in the knees and all sorts of frays. And I mean, it was just, yeah, it was pretty bad. Luckily, he never wore them so other people could see them, but he loved them. And one day he's looking at this pair of underwear, silk underwear, and he's saying, you know, I should just throw these things out. I mean, they're old, they're torn. I just get rid of them, but I love them so much. And then all of a sudden he remembered. He remembered that I forgot to shut my phone off. There we go. Okay. So he said, he remembered that LL Bean has a lifetime guarantee. And he thought to himself, well, you know, what the heck? I'm going to put these in a box. I'm going to send them back. I'm going to ask them for a new pair of silk underwear. And so that's what he did. He stuck them in a big old package, stuck them in the mail off to the home of the corporate office. And about a month later, he gets in the mail a check for, not check, actually it was a money order that he got, and it was for $1. And he got to thinking, he thought, you know, there was any explanation, just a check for $1. And he realized that was about what he had spent to send the silk underwear back to the corporate office. They figured, well, they probably valued the underwear, and that's what they valued at $1. And so they sent me a check for the $1, and he thought, well, I guess I'm not getting another pair. And he forgot all about it until a month later. He got a package from LL Bean, and it was a brand new pair of silk underwear. And he was ecstatic. He couldn't believe it. He picked up the phone and he called customer service. And he was just blustering all over himself. He says, you know, I got this new pair of silk underwear. I can't believe you did that. You guys had first sent me a check for $1. I thought that's what you had valued it at. Why did you send me a check for $1? So the rep looked on his screen, looked up the account, looked at the screen, and he said, oh, we wanted to reimburse you, first of all, for sending the old pair back to us. That's what the $1 was for. And then because of lifetime guarantee, they sent him a brand new pair of silk underwear. See, that's what you call legendary customer service. You see, when you have legendary customer service, what happens is that you make a guarantee, you promise to do something, and then you stand by what it is that you promised to do. Your word is your bond. Unfortunately, nowadays, it doesn't seem that the word is anybody's bond. I made a purchase about 45 days ago off the internet from a internet marketing company for a program. And it wasn't what it was meant, what they said it was going to be. And so they gave a 30-day money-back guarantee, not only for the main program, but for any of the additional programs attached to it if I wanted to buy them, which I did. And so when I decided within that 30 days that I didn't want the program, I asked for a refund. I'd probably spent close to $100, $49 for the main program, $29 for a next part of the program, and then another $50 for the next step. The only thing they reimbursed me for was the $49. So now I've got to take my time. I've got to go to PayPal, which I bought it through. I have to make a complaint, and I have to get my money back. That is customer service that does not work. See, customer service is your bond. It makes you, if you've got good customer service, it makes you stand up, stand out, and be remembered. So here are some traits of legendary customer service. First of all, you need to exceed customer expectations. If you think about it, the expectations of the customer nowadays is that, well, maybe they'll say what they say they're going to do. Maybe I'll get what I expect that I'm going to get. But I don't expect that I'm going to. So when the time comes that you have to give them their money back, or you have to talk to them, or you have to do what you said you were going to do, you have to make sure that you do it, because anything less than that is what they're expecting. Anything that you do above and beyond that exceeds their expectations. So number one, you need to exceed customer expectations. Number two, in order to have good legendary customer service, is you need to achieve service levels above your customer service. For example, and here's a good example, if you own a store, well, not a grocery store, but a store that changes oil, a garage, and you change the oil. And when people get their car back, usually there's a piece of paper at the bottom on the floorboard where people step on it and they don't get your carpeting dirty. But how do you exceed? How do you achieve a service level above and beyond what the customer would expect? Here's how you do that. Why not vacuum the whole entire car? Wash it if you want to. I don't say you have to go that far, but you go even that far, wow, you're going to blow them away. But at least vacuum the car. You need to go to a service level above and beyond anything that they would expect, something that would make you continue to stick out in their mind. Understand that if they went in to get their oil changed and you changed the oil and then you vacuum the car, I could almost guarantee you that everybody would take their car to your garage to have it changed. So for a moment, I just want you to think about whatever industry you're in, whatever career that you have, whatever business you're involved in, what is the one step up of a customer service level that you could go that would really stick in the mind of a customer? What is it that they would remember for days, weeks, even years that you could do and have them tell their friends, their relatives, the people they love, the people they know, all about what you did, and they weren't expecting what it was that you did for them. So those are two of the things in regards to exceeding customer expectations and achieving service levels above customer expectations. The other thing that you need to do is you need to wow the customer consistently. Wow the customer consistently. So let me give you an example of not wowing a customer consistently. Let me use the example, and I'm not going to name the store, but let's say that you were shopping at Walmart. Oh, well, let's say you're shopping at a store like Walmart, and you go in, and my mother is 87 years old. She lives with me, and she rides around in one of those carts. The problem is most of the time, those carts have not been plugged in, and what happens is because they haven't been plugged in, the battery's not working. So if you want to have excellent customer service, how can you wow the customer? You can wow the customer by providing carts for the older senior citizens to ride around in, make sure they're plugged in, make sure that they're usable, make sure that there are enough of them. You have to wow the customer. The other thing is that if you don't wow the customer, you do just exactly the opposite. Unfortunately, most of the time, it is expected that you do the opposite. It's expected that you don't have enough product on the shelf. My mother comes home all the time complaining about Walmart. Why does she still shop there? Because there's really no other place that she can work or that she can shop at. We have a Kroger's, but they're not much better anyway. So you need to make sure that you wow the customer. If you wow the customer, then I guarantee you, you will have legendary customer service. So other than legendary customer service, what's the next thing that we can do in regards to branding ourselves? And the next thing is marketing out of box. Marketing out of the box. Marketing in such a way so that it's unusual. So here's a couple of examples. How about using holidays when you market outside the box? And you can create your own holidays. There's a website that you can do that. Actually, there are thousands of holidays that have been created. And so here's some examples of some of the holidays that have been created. For example, the 12th. And today is the 12th today. So here's one of the examples of the 12th. The 12th is Plant a Flower Day. So in your business, what could you do to plant a flower? If you're you work in the florist, maybe you could give away flowers or seeds and help people plant flowers. But use something in regards to that holiday. On the 13th is Earmuff Day. How could you use earmuffs to advertise your business? The 13th is also Jewel Day. Could you give away a piece of jewelry? Or could you take a picture of somebody and their jewelry, maybe their earrings or a necklace, and put it up on a wall if you have a brick and mortar place to put them up on? But use the holidays. On the 14th, you have Learn About Butterflies Day. So when you have customers come in, can you help them learn about butterflies? What are the purposes of butterflies? What are the purpose of a caterpillar that becomes a butterfly? On the 14th, also, we have National Potato Chip Day. Wouldn't it be neat if you went out and you bought cases of potato chips, the small snack bags, and when your customers came in, you gave them a potato chip, a packet of potato chips. I remember some time ago, I was attending a networking meeting, and it was Orange Day. And I went out and I bought me a bunch of oranges. And when I went into the networking meeting, I brought in the bag of oranges I bought, and I gave everybody an orange. Because it stands out in people's mind when you do something that's unusual. Another holiday on the 14th is Popcorn Lovers Day. Maybe you give away free popcorn. Maybe you give away bags of microwave popcorn. But Popcorn Lovers Day, I mean, it's perfect. The 15th is Dumbstruck Day. Man, you know, you're dumbstruck. I don't know. What could you do with that? On the 16th is the Giant Panda Bear Day. Maybe you can buy a bunch of giant panda bears, stuffed panda bears, set them up, and maybe have people take pictures of them and put them up on your wall, put them up on Facebook, put them up on your website, whatever it is. But do something. Use the holidays that are out there in order to market your business, to do something unusual that will make the customer remember what you're doing and remember your business. Another thing that you can do is you can give away branded merchandise. You can go out and buy bottles of water. You can actually get organizations that will make labels for you and put them on the bottles of water, and then you give the bottles of water away. Maybe you can go to somebody that sells the, I'm looking for the word, it's here, the little knickknacks, whether it be a keychain or something like that that you can give away. But give away branded merchandise. It all depends what your business is all about. Give something away that's branded in regards to your business. The other thing that you can do in Marketing Outbox is sending cards and thank you notes. Send cards, send Christmas cards. Now, I know what you're thinking. Man, I got a lot of clients and customers sending them a Christmas card. If I've got 100 of them, that's going to take way too much time. I'm not sure I want to spend that time. Actually, there's an organization out there called Send Out Cards. I'm actually a member of that organization, and I use them. And what they do is you can send out thank you notes, you can send out cards, you can schedule it in the future. You just pick up the card. So let's say, for example, Halloween cards. How many of you have received a Halloween card in the last year? Okay? If they haven't received a Halloween card, I'm going to bet you that maybe your customers haven't either. Now, here's the secret. You send them a Halloween card, but you don't send them an advertisement to sell them something. Why not? Because everybody else is doing it. You want to stand up, stand out, and be remembered. And the way that you do that is you send them a card, a Halloween card, with nothing to sell them. Just something in that card that makes them remember you. Maybe you buy tickets to a haunted house. Include them in the card. Give them something free, but don't sell them anything. That's what's going to make you be remembered by your client. So not only do we have these other holidays that we talk about, but you have Halloween cards. We have, what's that holiday we have coming up now where we eat cabbage and whatever, you know. We have April Fools coming up. We have all sorts of different holidays coming up. Do something different. Send them a card that they're not expecting. What else can you do? And here's one of the things that I think is very important if you want to create good marketing out of the box and create excellent customer service at the same time. Create what I call a customer council. What's a customer council? You take 4 or 5 of your customers and you ask them to set on a council to give you recommendations and ideas of what you can do to grow your business, to market your business, to get better known out there in the community. And here's the side reward that you get for creating a customer council. Not only will they give you all this information and help you become known as the premier company out there, but because they sit on your council, they will always be promoting you. They'll send their family and friends to you. They'll be talking about you. They'll be telling their customers about you. Why? Because they sit on your council and they want to make sure that your business succeeds. So create a customer council. So we've talked about 2 things so far in regards to standing up, standing out, and being remembered. We talked about creating legendary customer service, which was number one. Number two, we talked about marketing out of the box. What's the third thing that I want to talk about? It's creating an unbelievable guarantee. What is an unbelievable guarantee? An unbelievable guarantee is you guarantee something that is absolutely unbelievable, that it will blow the mind away of your customer. Think about LL Bean. LL Bean had a unbelievable guarantee. Their unbelievable guarantee was a lifetime guarantee for their product, like the silk underwear. Now, let's face it. Here's what's going to happen the majority of the time. People won't think about it. They'll forget about it, or they'll be too embarrassed, like my friend who didn't want to really send in his old raggedy silk underwear like he did. But he thought he would test the system that LL Bean had in place. And he thought, well, I love these underwear so much. Let's go ahead and see if I can get a free pair because they have a lifetime guarantee. So he sent them in. What was his expectations? Remember when I talked about the expectations of customers? Their expectations are low. My friend's expectation was this. Well, I probably won't get a new pair. Matter of fact, when he got the money order for $1, he thought, that's all I'm getting. Nothing else is going to happen. He had low expectations. So what happens when you give a guarantee that most customers will think, well, they'll never meet that guarantee, so I'm not even going to try. But what if they do try? Now, here's what happens. They apply for that guarantee and you give it to them. So what does the guarantee need to look like? First of all, you need to have a customer satisfaction guarantee length. LL Bean had lifetime. You can do anywhere from 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year. But the higher the guarantee is, the greater the astonishment the customer will have when you meet that guarantee. They're going to look at that guarantee and they're going to say, yeah, right. But when they apply for that guarantee for whatever reason and you meet that guarantee, don't you think that they will spread the word about what you've done? My friend at LL Bean, there are, the number of people on this call right now, the number of people that may listen to this, and then you'll tell your friends about, hey, I heard from this Dr. Brandman that a friend of his had sent in some silk underwear on their lifetime guarantee from LL Bean and got a new pair. Don't you think that some people might go out and shop at LL Bean just to be able to experience what LL Bean provides? So set up a length of your customer satisfaction guarantee and make that length long enough out there in the future that it will blow their mind. The second thing about a guarantee is, and by the way, I want to mention that 10 days is probably the least amount of time that you want to have. Lifetime is the longest, and the most common are generally going to be 30, 60, or 90 days, or even a year. But I'm going to recommend that you go much farther. Go for the lifetime. You have everything to gain, and really you have very little to lose if you go for the lifetime. So what's another thing that you have to do about the guarantee? The customer satisfaction guarantee conditions. What are the conditions in order for them to apply for the guarantee? Do you make them jump through hoops? Do you make them bring in the item and the receipt and 2 forms of ID, and they have to sign off on the sheet in their blood? I mean, do you go to all that just to make sure that they're being open and honest with you? Understand something. In today's society, it's often easier to talk about the bad. or see the bad in other people and mistrust other people than to actually trust them, to see the good in them. Why is that? Here's why. Because usually the stories we hear are the nightmares. We hear about the customer that went out there and tried to take your money by turning in a fictitious piece of merchandise that they really didn't buy from you. There's a story that's out there about Nordstrom's. I'm not sure whether it's true or not, but the story has really given Nordstrom's an opportunity to really blossom in regards to customer service. The story goes that a gentleman had a pair of tires that he didn't want anymore, and he wanted to return them back to Nordstrom's. But he didn't have his receipt with him. And so he called Nordstrom's and he says, hey, I have this pair of tires. I bought it at your store. I don't want them anymore. Can I bring them back? And he was asked, do you have the receipt for the tires? And the person said, no, I don't have the receipt. And he was asked, are you sure you bought the tires here? And he said, yes, I'm positive that I bought the tires here. So he was told to bring the tires in and he would get his money back, which he did. The story comes out later on as the rest of the story is told that Nordstrom's didn't even sell tires. They didn't make the customer jump through hoops. They said, here's a customer that thinks he's bought the tires here. Whether he did or not is immaterial. If we don't give him his money back, he's going to think badly of us and tell all of his friends how he bought a pair of tires at Nordstrom's and how we wouldn't give his money back. So we would be much farther ahead just by going ahead and giving him his money back for the tires, which he didn't even buy here. See, that's a story that's out there that talks about Nordstrom's legendary customer service. But even though Nordstrom's didn't sell the tires, and understand, even if the story isn't true, it all works into Nordstrom's legendary customer service on what they're trying to do. So what type of condition do you have for your guarantees? Are you allowing them regardless of whether they have a receipt, whatnot? Does it really matter? Would you be further ahead simply by taking the item back and building up goodwill with that customer? Understand that the fewer conditions will yield better results. So you want to keep the conditions of what you're going to do in regards to a guarantee as small as possible. The next thing that you want to do is you want to have the customer satisfaction guarantee coverage. What does it cover? Does your money back guarantee cover just shipping and handling? Does it cover other fees as well? Or does it just cover the product? You want to be careful that you are clear about what is covered and what's not covered. And understand something. Everything that you get, everything that you cover within that money back guarantee is going to be nothing but additional good stuff for you. So once again, you want to have legendary customer service. You want to make sure that when they bring in their merchandise, or when they buy merchandise from you, whatever it is, say hello to them at the door. Say goodbye to them when they leave. Give them the best absolute possible customer service that you can. Go above and beyond what your competition will do. And when we talk about when we're dealing with, look at my notes here. When we talk about marketing out of the box, what can you do that is unusual? What can you do that will be a remembrance to your customer, that will remind them? If you're in a restaurant and you have a birthday club, let the birthday person come for a free meal. Their friends can pay for their own. But don't just have a discount for the birthday meal. Have a free meal. Do something that will make you stand up, stand out, and be remembered when you're marketing outside of the box. And then finally, have a guarantee that will blow their mind away, that they'll look at that guarantee and they'll say, wow, if you'll be able to stand behind your product on yours or your service like that, you must have a good product or a good service. I mean, they will be blown away. Hey, here's what you need to do. Stand up, stand out, be remembered, and provide the best possible customer service that you absolutely can. That's all I got. I'm open for questions.
First, I want to thank you for the presentation. Does anyone have questions they'd like to ask?
Oh, I just have a comment. Like David has a credit card. It works at some place, but then some fast food restaurants, it doesn't. And they don't want to put it in manually. They say, well, we don't know how we do it. But they ended up giving him a free meal.
Ah.
And so, you know, that, and then they always say, thank you for your service and all that. But anyway, that we go to that restaurant or that chain pretty often, but you always think about that. Also, places that give us senior discounts. That's another place we like to frequent. They don't have to do it, but sometimes you have to ask, because if they ask you, some people get offended.
Yep.
So, you know, you always have to ask, and we have seniors in our, as we call them, seasoned Rotarians. Well, don't be afraid to ask for a senior discount. They can only say no. Sometimes it's only a free drink or something like that. But it's some sort of compensation that you'll remember and you go back to that place. And with Rotary, we thank you for your service. We thank you for all you do and coming to us on your own free will and giving us all this information. So thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Doc, a couple of question and a comment too. By chance, are you familiar with Dan Kennedy?
Ted Kennedy?
Dan Kennedy.
Dan Kennedy. Yes, matter of fact, I've studied under him, go to his conferences. He's one of the best people out there that will help you out of the box marketing. Yes.
Howard, is that where you found him? Is that where you found Doc?
No, I met him on a speaker website, which I'm part of.
Okay. No, yeah, it sounded just very much like a Dan Kennedy presentation there, because I was the photographer at the Dan Kennedy conferences for years and years. And one of the things about guarantees, I had my photography studio for 20 plus years. High school seniors was my main market. And my better than money back guarantee was that if you're not happy with the senior portraits that I provide for you, not only will I refund your session fee, I will pay for your session fee at the studio of your choice up to $200. I offered that for several years. I had one student take me up on it, cost me $60. And the other side to that story is that the photographer that she went to, he just had an immense amount of respect for me when he got a check from my studio to pay for a senior portrait. And his respect for me just went through the roof because of that. So yeah, I had one person take me up on it in probably 6, 7, 8 years.
Yep, it was probably worth it.
Oh yeah.
I've been giving people my cell phone for customer support in my program, and it makes them know that I'm really there to help them. And I tell them if they need help, I'll go on Skype and I'll make sure they learn it, or else I'll give them their money back. And I very rarely have to make a refund, because I make sure they learn what they paid for. And if they don't want their money, because they didn't get what they paid for, and they should get their money.
I just noticed that somebody came in on the phone earlier.
Charlotte?
Charlotte, is that you? It may be Charlotte.
It's me.
It's Charlotte.
Oh, yeah,
That's
it's
what
me.
I thought it was. Thanks for coming, Charlotte.
Yeah, thanks. Good program.
Do you have any questions? Does anyone else have any questions? I want to thank you, Jay. Would you like me to send you an application? You could look it over.
Yes, please do that.
Okay,
Yes.
I will do that.
Yeah, because this works great doing it on Zoom for me.
Oh, thank you. But I like the E-Club because you could have speakers anywhere in the world. And a lot of the clubs, they
Yep.
really physically have to be. It's not, I mean, I speak a lot of clubs. I probably do. Linda's probably the only one who's been to more clubs than me. And I might have been to more clubs than her at this point as a speaker.
Going.
But you have to go there. Like I'm doing one in Waco, and I have to drive 3-4 hours from my house to go there. I'd rather go online. It's a lot easier. Well, we do a traditional close at every Rotary meeting, so unless there's something anyone else has to say, I will close the meeting. Okay, so let's do our 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. And you'll like this, Jay, because this is what you're talking about with branding. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And our club has a fifth one, which is it fun? Thanks again, Jay. I'll see everybody next week. Linda, I sent you the stuff you
Yes, I
asked
got
for.
it.
Perfect. And I will be here next week and wish everyone a good week. I'll see you at the end of next week. And then I'm off to Thailand. Thanks again. Take care, everybody.
Thanks.